Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Christopher Thompson on the line. He's a realtor over at Chamberlain Realty, and he's also co-host of Twosmartassets podcast. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot, Adam. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, man. So I'm excited to get into what you're doing. I love bringing new podcasts to my community. I'm feeling Twosmartassets, that little play on words. I'm like, you got to make sure you say the S at the end, or else we're gonna have to put an explicit on this one, which we're not going to. But before we get into your podcast, I do want to talk a little bit more about what you're doing over at Chamberlain Realty. So tell us a little bit more about your practice and how you help people.
Okay, so basically, for the most part, I am a realtor and a working agent. I help people, kind of accomplish one of their dreams, buying homes, whatever. But I've kind of transitioned from that into helping people purchase their investments. So what I mainly kind of focus in is a little more commercial and just property or income-driven real estate. So small multifamily up to, 6 or 8 units, just kind of the lower stuff, and a lot of it has to do with first-time investors. So that's mainly my focus, is those first-time investors, just kind of getting their feet wet and getting them into maybe earning a little bit of passive income.
Man, that's awesome. I love it. It's a great thing that you're doing, because I feel like real estate is just one of those things that can give many an opportunity to achieve financial freedom over the long haul, and the way you're doing it too. And I love that you're focusing on this niche, because sometimes people only focus on the big guys, so to speak. So meaning they're just looking at those institutional, trying to buy 1,000 apartments or 1,000 units or things like that, or 1,000 doors. And you're like, well, what about the guy that wants to get his duplex or a fourplex, or get a 10 unit or 15 unit, like
Right.
Who's out there helping them and educating them. And I think that's a great transition. So let's get into Twosmartassets podcast. So tell us a little bit more about your pod, please.
Okay, really. So what we focus on is kind of creating passive income through investing in real estate, namely in multifamily syndications. So what we do is, we just try to come from value. We have a lot of videos where we'll just break down one subject, kind of as good as anyone really can, in a 20 to maybe a 25-minute segment, and some of this stuff can get pretty high level. But for the most part, we're just trying to make it, our interpretation of some of the rules, some of the terms, just overall, just our interpretation. So maybe we can connect with people who are like-minded, and there's people obviously that are working at a much higher level than us. And I guess on the other side of that, there's people who are working maybe at a lower level, and we're just trying to find the people who are similar to us that, maybe they've given some kind of thought to investing, or maybe they're just new to syndications in general, whatever. So, I know how I felt when I discovered multifamily syndications. That was something that I had never even heard of, and I couldn't believe that, why did it take me so long to figure it out? So part of my personality is, I actually really enjoy teaching others. I love teaching someone else something that I know, whether it's music, whether it's about investing, whether it's just about real estate in general. I always kind of have this weird fantasy in my mind, where when I'm learning how to do something, or when I'm going through some of my motions, I kind of in my mind, I'm role playing how I would be teaching someone like my brother or someone who I care about. It's just it's when I want to bring you in, so I want to teach you all the angles that I know. And so that's the point of this podcast, is to kind of help bring those like-minded people in, instead of me coming to you and trying to pitch you some kind of deal that you might not care about. Mm-hmm. And so instead of that, we're putting ourselves out there, so we're attracting, and that's the attempt though, is, to attract those, so that way, we're immediately aligned in some kind of interest, just from the get-go. So that was kind of the purpose of it. We do a lot of, we kind of have a segment. It's kind of like a Friday frequently asked questions. Whether it's what's a UBIT, what's UDFI, or what's your cash on cash return, like something like that, where I'm just talking to someone and they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, oh, this is something that I'm getting all the time. Let's just tell people about it. It's just something, if we could handle it in a 2-minute, little quick tip video that we're going to post on Instagram or whatever, like just something just to put it out there, because it's not that I get tired of telling stuff about it. I don't mind, especially with being a realtor. Like most people have this idea about how this thing is going to go down, when really you probably couldn't be further from the truth, and I'm here to help guide you. So, I mean,
man, that's awesome. I love it. So what is one of your, and this is a loaded question for you, Chris, because it's hard to ask a podcaster this, but I love asking podcasters this. What is one of your favorite episodes? Like, what was one of the topics or things you talked about in one of your favorite episodes?
One of my favorite episodes, I guess, really is just talking about the different asset classes, and just kind of like if we're talking about actual larger multifamily properties, kind of the difference between Class A, B, C, and D. It's just something that people don't pay a lot of people don't pay attention to, at least when they're approaching this multifamily investing thing. They don't really know the difference and why a particular person would invest in a particular class over another one, and why that's not necessarily a bad thing for you. Like, just because he's going to Class A doesn't mean that's the best. Doesn't mean it's the worst or whatever. It's just about knowing where you are as an investor and knowing what you want to gain out of this, whether you're investing for cash flow or whether you're kind of a buy and hold person, or like what's your strategy. And, here's how you might fit into one of these classes if you're even interested in, the concept of large multifamily properties.
Oh, I love it. This is awesome. So, Chris, that being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information either on working with you over at Chamberlain Realty, or they want to listen to the podcast, so Twosmartassets, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Well, at Twosmart, you can reach me at it's my full name, so it's chris.thompson at twosmartassets.com, or you can just hit us at info@twosmartassets.com. I will get both of those email addresses will come straight to me. And if you're looking for any kind of real estate needs, here I'm only licensed for the moment. I'm only licensed in Oklahoma, but I do kind of cater to the entire region as far as Oklahoma, the entire state. So either I can help you there, or I can find someone that might need your help, or that might be able to help you, I guess. And awesome. But you can hit me there at just chris@ChamberlainRealtyLLC.com, and that's the quickest way. Or you can, I guess maybe when this is over, if you wanted to put my number in the notes, my number's posted on Twosmartassets.
Right there.
Well, my phone number is 918-521-6018, and you can call me in reference to the podcast or your real estate needs. I'd love to help you out in either of those areas.
Awesome. Well, hey, Chris, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background, and congrats on your podcast, and wish you the best of luck to it. And to my audience, go check it out. So, Twosmartassets podcast. I looked at some of the content. I think you'll be pleased. So they put a lot of hard work into that. And to my audience also, if you're watching this or listening to this for the first time, definitely give us a subscribe, but also leave us some comments on the video. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, and we love to hear what kind of products and projects that you're working on there. So let's take the conversation over to the YouTube community. And Chris, thanks again for coming on the show.